Approximately 24.2% of adults and 22.9% of children in Uganda have a diagnosable mental health disorder. Other estimates suggest that as many as 35% of Ugandans suffer from a mental illness. The poor prevalence of depression is estimated at 30.2% of the population, with the prevalence being even higher among specific groups like refugees, which is 67.6%, and war victims being 36.0%. The general population prevalence has been reported around 20.8%. Anxiety disorder affects around 20.2% of adults and 14% of children. One study reported a prevalence of 40% for anxiety among school-going adolescents.
Munai Counseling Center is still doing the great work. Ever since the people who started left, we are still actually pushing on, trying to provide psychosocial support to students and also the community around, whereby we go to schools, secondary and primary schools, we go to prison, we go to Entebbe Police Station, Child and Family Protection Unit, and also we work with different organizations in Katabi CSO, those are civil society organizations, to bring and uplift the service of mental health in all organizations within Entebbe. For the 7 years experience working with the Nkumba University students and other university students in Uganda, you find that, as you stated, that students go through a lot, what we can term to be psychosocial issues, and they face a lot of challenges. Maybe they can't actually disclose to someone. And those challenges are many in numbers. Where they are coming from, some actually from their families, others from their peer-to-peer, others have finance issues, like, some people have issues when it comes to finance. Others struggle maybe with relationship because they are in active age when it comes to dealing with those issues of sex and all that, so intimate relationship. So with all that, some they don't know how to manage life, because remember, when they reach out to university, this is counter-interdependence situation where your parents are no longer on them, do this, do what, and do what. So some they face a lot of challenges, like managing their life, getting to know they can wake up in the morning, do this, and all that, something like that. They face issues with lecturers. Some lecturers are not that friendly. So they are a lot, because this is now a new life to them. So they go through a lot depending on a situation that maybe is happening to them. However, whatever they are going through, sometimes they fear to disclose to any person. They feel they will be criticized. Maybe sometimes they feel like they won't be understood, and they want to do it in their own way. And most of them at university level, you find that they have gone into what we call trying different addictive behaviors. Look at this, when you see like poverty issues, or they want to have money with them, they will use the money the parents have given them to go for betting, which can also lead to psychological issues or mental illness in the end run, because that is addictive. Others with relationship, maybe they have tried their level best to date so and so, glad things are not working out. They will say, now what I'm going to do is to resort to masturbation. So those are behavioral addictions. So when you go to maybe coping with drugs, you find that some, once they cope with drugs, they think that this feeling of happiness is going to be there, but it's not going to be there for the rest of their lives. They are going to upgrade. Someone who started maybe with a bottle of beer, 2 or 3, they are going to start taking crate. And time will reach when a crate of beer can't condition the first feeling they got in life, the first excitement they got. They are going to resort to mixing now a depressant and a stimulant. That's why you see someone taking alcohol and energy drink, or upgrading to cocaines and all that. Why? Because now alcohol can't bring the first feeling they got. So you find that all those behavioral challenges they face and the way they deal with them, they end up into addiction or being addicted to them, you know. And addiction, it's now something which is one expensive and secular disease, you get, that we are struggling with as counselors in universities, that most young adults are dealing with a lot of addictions, which addiction have come with by different psychosocial concerns, which we agree that if someone can actually come at early stages and they say this is what I'm going through, we can try to mitigate the different issues which can actually come as negative effect once. And if you look at the suicide ideation among young adults, like everything that we've discussed about, you find that once a child or a student is going through a lot, sometimes call them concurrent challenges, and there is no anyone has intervened, they start getting those suicidal ideation. Yes, and that is also common. There are many. You once maybe some of them actually try to be referred here at Munai Counseling Center. When you talk to them, they can even tell you how many times they have tried to attempt suicide. So suicide is there, yeah, and it's very common. Addiction is, more especially drugs, it is rampant at university, and many students are actually, due to different challenges they face, they are going through a lot, like depression. They have depression, anxiety, stress, and other different mental illnesses. Yes, and actually some of them, they already have some. They joined the university maybe with attention deficit hyperactive disorder, or it's a mental health issue. And maybe some of the university lecturers, they don't know how to handle someone with maybe OCD, someone with maybe attention deficit, something like that, you get. So they end up worsening the situation of the learners, you get. And some students can resort to suicide or committing suicide. We, the practitioners, when you talk about mental health in Africa, it is something that has been linked to, more especially mental illness. It's something that has been linked to prostitution. You know, if someone may be struggling with something, they'll be like, now, maybe they bewitched him or they bewitched her, something like that. And that is actually common in our communities. And even to maybe students who are here, sometimes they feel like that is, maybe someone was actually bewitched, something like that. So that is still actually a challenge that all mental health practitioners are facing, that few people who can actually accept or understand that mental health is really something that we need to take on, we need to embrace right now. And others think that those mental illnesses are diseases of whites. So what we need to do is to do more sensitization about mental health and mental health services within the university. And in the sensitization, we need to cluster, like having school per school, having those peer-to-peer. We train them. After training them, they start disseminating the information where the counselors or university counselors can't reach. At least there is a student who can identify that someone maybe tried my level best, but maybe she's not doing well. Because you need also to know that some students prefer disclosing to fellow students than actually professionals. So if we can do faculty per faculty, school per school, having those people who are responsible, students who are responsible, we can actually get more numbers rising and also seeking support before the big challenge as somebody to be mad and all that, or having some issues that are not easy to be handled. So sensitization is key. We need to cluster it in that way. Secondly, we also need to do more awareness when it comes to lecturers. Lecturers themselves need to know that maybe a student A is not doing well in this. What can we do the lecturers are supposed to work with a counseling center to know the symptoms, to know different behaviors, not to behave like a jackal in a class, because the student is coming late and you are behaving like a jackal.